Hello, y'all. Here on YouTube, it's Lisa Stade, of Lisa Stade, the YouTube channel. This Lisa Stade and Hitler Obsessed. I'm here to talk to you about a recent movie I've seen. I actually own this on DVD. I haven't seen it recently, but when you have good memory, it pretty much seems pretty recent. It is called Hitler: The Rise of Evil. And literally right now, I just have to say bye-bye to probably all future of this channel. Bye-bye now, future. Providence, you've been kind to me so far. Because right now we're gonna be talking about Hitler: The Rise of Evil, which is a 2002 miniseries, documentary, that is, I think, by a film director that's from Australia. It's actually a two-part miniseries, so today I will talk to you either completely in one video, or maybe in several videos, or part one, and then I'll do part two for you. So, if hopefully this video doesn't get struck down for any reason, like, hate speech or whatever, I'm not promoting Hitler, thank God. I'm actually just bringing up a bad review of a terrible, most likely historically inaccurate Hitler movie. Okay, so the movie of Hitler: The Rise of Evil does start off with a quote about how, in order for evil to exist, good men have to do nothing. That is a good quote. I think it's a quote we need to listen to more often, in these current times, with a lot of things like racism, anti-Semitism, uh, sexism, and every other horrible ideology out there, and extremism, white nationalism. Yeah, a lot of that horrible stuff come back. The good men need to stop sitting back. The good men should at least talk and expose the stuff. Probably not the person you would say qualified. So that's why I'm making a video about a Hitler video that's not historically accurate. So the movie kind of starts out with more choppy, guess you could say more choppy kind of beginning plot of Hitler's childhood. It starts with a guy, that's playing a recorder, what's called a record recorder, so vinyl record, so a gramophone, I guess you call it in those days. And there's a young kid who is pretty much Hitler, and I guess it's the school director. I guess this is probably reference to one of his history teachers and how he introduced, I guess, the kids to Wagner. I don't remember that much in my research on Hitler of a history teacher introducing Hitler to Wagner. The whole thing with Richard Wagner, was Hitler visited the operas with his friend, Kubelzik, Andrew Kubelzik. That was a friend of his, from his, I guess, his youth, middle school, high school, that they went to Vienna to visit the opera. This was before Hitler went to go, I guess, what's it called? Went off to go to the Vienna Arts Academy that he felt. So, a little bit of a actual historical fact to that scene. And then there's another scene of, Hitler's father in the movie, who does not at all look like a picture of Alois Hitler. You could just Google the words Alois Hitler or Hitler's father, and you will see a good picture of what the guy's dad looks like. Does not look like a thing like most of the characters, even though the kid Hitler looks very accurate to what the guy looks like when he was a kid in many of the historical pictures. So he looks pretty similar. I wouldn't say very accurate, but very close to it. In a way, we'll kind of start with a movie that's historically accurate. And there's another scene after that of his father being mad at, I guess, Hitler, who's been messing with his bees he's been keeping, honey bee hives to make honey. That was a thing that Hitler's father probably did during his retirement. Hitler's father was an abusive drunk that had several affairs with several women. A total, what do you call it? Baby daddy or deadbeat drunk of a father. Not somebody you want raising your kids as a father. Not a good fatherly figure, I guess you could say. Anyone's a history major, psychology major. Yeah, that might be a good example. What I'm describing is not a good fatherly figure. Was what Hitler's father was. The next scene shows Hitler's father. I really say this is a trigger warning. He does spank his son with the back of his hand. Cruel punishment. Uh, that is based on fact with his father. His father was more abusive, but since this was a mini series that was going to be shown to people that probably had their kids, most likely American, maybe Australian rating systems, but definitely in America, it would not show the accuracy of his father's abuse on Hitler, what Alois Hitler did to his son, which was mainly using a whip, cane, or leather belt. So really, whips are like a step up, I guess, leather belts. Not saying corporal punishment is at all good. But here in America, that probably would get the ratings bumped up a bit more higher, so that the movie might not show on mainstream television. It was shown on ABC. That's what originally was first shown in 2003. Uh, so next thing is seen is after Hitler's been given six the best, and CPS just doesn't seem to turn up in the film because they weren't a thing back then. Terrible thing to go through, I guess, for Hitler in this case. I do not feel bad for his actions later on. I feel bad for his childhood. He has a terrible childhood for him to go through. It sure left an impression on Adolf, and everyone suffering for it. Thanks, Hitler's dad. We've all suffered for it sometime. Thank you. But now back to my story of the plot to this movie. You have Hitler ends up telling at the dinner table that he wants to quit school. And, the dad doesn't take it too well, to the point he has a heart attack and falls over. That's not true on the heart attack plot. His dad went to a ball, a saloon or whatever, I guess tavern you call it, a ball, a local ball, for his daily, little glass of wine that he liked, and he had a quadruple, I guess called a pulmonism. Do not know if I'm pronouncing that medical term pretty correctly, so anyone who is a medical major, you have my blessing to type out how that's spelled. Oh, God forbid, if you could actually record it and put it in the comments, great. Even if you make a video to reaction, that's okay. Probably butchered the word. I know, that's not my fault. I'm a history major. But you have, but yeah, so his dad in real life, Hitler's father, Alois Hitler, had a quadruple, formalism, was at the ball. He ended up having, I guess Hitler come to pick him up, and but the guy ended up dying in an inn. So I don't know if this was while Hitler was there or not. Maybe Adolf did something you don't know. The guy was an abusive father and he had no power. Maybe there's a reason why. Uh, but yeah, the next scene is of Hitler wanting to go to Vienna, and he's telling his mother, and his mother was having a I guess the lump in her chest that you'll find out she had breast cancer that she died from very quickly. Uh, Historical fact, Hitler did pay with his inheritance from the father for that out of his own money. Plus, cleaned and take care of his mother and just pretty much spoiled her rotten. Imagine mass murdering dictator taking care of your sick, breast cancer suffering mother. Probably something you probably wouldn't think would happen, but yet Hitler was very loving of his mother. That is a proven fact from his family's physician, who was Jewish, actually, that Hitler let escape the Third Reich and flee to America. Hitler actually did allow this because of the care he provided for his family, his health, and his mother's treatment and care for her breast cancer that he could not save her. I wonder if that has any connection to Hitler's anti-Semitism. Some people have debated that, if that is really connected at all. I think that's still up for debate. I don't know so much of that little argument now. But yeah, in the movie, his mother does mention, oh, if you go to Vienna, there's Jews and gypsies. I have heard debates that yes, they did have anti-Semitism back at Hitler's home city. It was around. I don't know how widespread. I know Hitler did mention in Mein Kampf that in his school they had Jewish kids, but they never really thought much about them. They just thought they were weird and kept to themselves. They didn't have a lot of, I guess, the anti-Semitism, but knowing in those times it had to be around that. And yes, there was plenty of reference to how bad it was in Austria, which was bad than in Germany. Germany's anti-Semitism, I guess, was from the history books, which you would suggest, and is described as more based off of Jesus Christ's death on the cross and not on racial purity, like the stuff Hitler got pretty much out of the trashy pamphlets he was reading in Vienna while he was homeless on the streets. So, and the next scene is of Hitler going to the Vienna Arts Department and not succeeding because his art skills are not good and being forced to for going to a architect school. And yes, that is based on fact. Hitler did fail art school. He took the exam and failed. One of the things that he failed at was figures. I know from experience from an art career, uh, I guess you could say major, not an art career, yes. A lot of people do have issues in drawing in art, and Hitler also had issues in perspective, and talking from experience, yes, perspective drawing is pretty tough for a lot of people in that major. I don't blame Hitler for failing that. Some people, it's figures of figure drawing, like the human figure, will trip them up. Wasn't so me, but sometimes that does happen to some artists. It is in their skill strength. So I'd like to let you go on this, which is part one of a series of videos about Hitler, the Rise of Evil, part one. This is Lisa Stayed here. Like this video, subscribe to this video. You can comment me, leave a comment on my Facebook page. You can see my BitChute channel of Lisa Marie Stayed. That is one letter, one word. Lisa Marie Stayed. Every letter is caps lock. And you can subscribe to this channel. Definitely subscribe to this channel. I'd love that. Hit the notification bell. Donate to my Patreon and my subscribe star would help me a lot financially. And bye, y'all. Continuing on next to part 2.